Welcome to the Village's Weekend Show, where we take deep dive looks into your community to see what makes it what it is. Now, our story for today, we focus on the sound of the Villages. What makes up the town square entertainment? Who's behind it, and how has it developed in the last 20 years? Well, we have some voices here that are going to tell you how that sound came about.
In the historical north, in by the lake, and all throughout the thriving south, 7 nights a week the squares are filled with dancing, laughing, singing, and talent. The names that you see performing up on stages like the Spanish Springs Town Square Gazebo, Lake Sumter Landings Pavilion, and the Dog Trot Porch at Brownwood Paddock Square bring fun to villagers and area residents, family, and friends. But it's all possible thanks to the hard workers at the Village's entertainment department. One of those hard workers is Brian Russo.
Town squares are kind of built for a place for people to go and be able to enjoy entertainment, go in their golf cart and have a great night out any night they want. And being able to do it affordably and getting a variety of things that they may not be able to experience otherwise. Especially early on, it was still pretty rural. The Villages was very small and it grew a lot over time, obviously, because look at us here now. But it grew into that and it morphed into that, and then everybody just kept that going year over year, and now we've grown into 3 squares. And it is free entertainment every single night, and we've developed this system of variety and new acts and keeping some of our really favorites around all the time, and it's something new every single night for people, and we get people who bounce square to square in a single night.
Before Brian's time with the department, entertainment signed one act that would become one of the most well-known names in the community.
Really, though, you can't go anywhere historically without mentioning Rocky.
Rocky was the bomb before when I got here. Everybody was like, Rocky and the Rollers, Rocky and the Rollers. And they're the bomb.
Of course, Rocky. I mean, they laid down the blueprint for how to do what you do. I mean, they're the benchmark, and we're just trying to keep up, and if we could be a quarter of the band that Rocky is, we'll consider it a success.
The man behind Rocky and the Rollers, Rocky, is originally from Philadelphia, and as a kid, this drummer sensation didn't have a drum kit to his name.
We couldn't afford a drum set. So I used to go, we lived in the back of a restaurant in Philadelphia, and I would go get boxes, and cardboard boxes. And I brought them home, taped them up, grabbed a pair of my grandmother's wooden spoons out of her kitchen, and I started playing on boxes. And next thing you know, I got a pot and a pan and a chair, and I made this kind of makeshift drum set that I played on for a couple of years. In 2010,
Rocky had already led a successful career in the music industry, playing for such names as Chuck Berry, the Drifters, Del Shannon, and more. By 1989, he and the Rollers were playing in Kissimmee when he caught wind of the Villages. He checked it out and decided it was their scene. Over the course of the next 20 years, the band became a local favorite. In some ways, they helped shape the community into what it is today.
To me, the Villages now it's the entertainment capital of Florida, not just North Central Florida. There is so much here. The changes that I've seen were not just in entertainment and recreation, in the way things are done around here, that it makes life so easy to live. That's why I live here. I mean, I love living here. My wife and I love living here.
Helping to shape the entertainment capital of Central Florida created a domino effect and brought in other names who would become must-see entertainers in the Villages, like vocalist Carol Ann and Scooter the DJ.
I believe my first date, now that you mention it, was July 9th, 2009. I was so nervous, and it was Katie Bells. Actually, Danny and Johnny of Danny and Johnny. No, the 50s, okay. Anyway, he had seen me at a festival and got a card from me and gave me a call and said, "Are you interested in maybe singing at Katie Bells?" I said, absolutely.
Everybody has this vision of the Villages, and mine was like a Sinatra fest. That's the exact word I used. I said, I'm not going up there to DJ a Sinatra fest. I picture people in walkers, something about the way you look tonight. I'm freaking out and everything. So I was worried about that. So I come up here and I said, all right, I'll play the square, what the heck. So I come up here and I played Spanish Springs, it was the only square we had. And man, I was wrong. These people were fun. They were partying. They reminded me of a wedding because you had the seniors that lived here, you had the kids sometimes that were coming in, and then you had the grandkids that were coming in. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is open season. You can play old stuff, new stuff. They knew everything. So I immediately fell in love with this place.
But in a retirement community, not all of the entertainers are even close to retirement ages. The band members of Johnny Wild and the Delights came to the Villages about a year and a half ago, but in their short time, they've made a huge splash among the community.
There's other decent bands that I like and the wife likes, but once I've seen Johnny Wild, I don't miss any of them. He's been 17 at Katie Bell's shows, going into 3 at Savannah Center plus the private gigs, and I don't miss any of them. Like I told him, I said, if you don't see me here, check your obituaries.
We were playing community theaters because we all have community theater background, and somebody at some point just said, hey, you should check out the Villages, and then 14 other people said, hey, you should check out the Villages, they'd love you up there. As soon as we played here, we thought, okay, yeah, this is our spot. Like, these people, they party like we do, not too hard, not too soft, you know, they dance, they get up, they get involved in the music. Music means something more than just, you know, a swipe and, you know, something that's free and to be, you know, taken for granted. To me, we had been looking for our crowd. I've been looking for my crowd for 20 years, and this is it. Larry and Ginger, everybody, she said yes!
I mean, awards like Johnny Wild have brought this new kind of breath of fresh air. Not that it was stale, but this new feeling to it, this new variety that's coming in, and that's kind of helped us open a door towards a lot of new acts. Like in a couple of days, we have a blues band coming out. That's fantastic. We've got a Latin band coming soon. We have an 80s band. You know, we've been able to branch out a lot with the new bands too.
Working in the entertainment department is hard work, especially putting on entertainment every night of the week. But it has its rewards, like when the entertainment department invited Johnny Wild and the Delights to play last year for a Back to the Future themed night.
And there were so many people there. I mean, we knew it was gonna be busy, but we'd never done something like this before. We had no idea how busy it was gonna be. It was so busy that the police actually came to us and said, next time you need to close the streets. I don't think I've ever seen such a packed sea of people in a square. And this was Brownwood, which is a slightly smaller square. It was packed.
Oh man, everybody went nuts. It was just seeing this whole space filled, you know, with smiling, dancing bodies was unbelievable. By the time we wrapped up the 3rd and 4th set, it was just a full party atmosphere, and a good one too.
We're going to cut to a quick commercial break, but when we return, we go right back into the world of the Villages entertainment. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Villages Weekend Show. Our current topic is the Villages entertainment. Now, there are places literally all over the world that musicians can go to play, so what makes the Villages such a destination for musicians? Well, I'll let Rocky tell you.
I remember at Spanish Springs especially, we played a New Year's Eve. And I believe it was the first New Year's Eve they went till 12:30. So we actually rung in New Year's Eve. It was, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it, because the people that showed up first, as far down Main Street to the flag, people were on the sides. That's how packed it was. And I'm thinking to myself, what is happening? What is this place? You know, what? This is crazy. We performed at Madison Square Garden, and I'm getting the same chill working at Spanish Springs Town Square on New Year's Eve because of the people and the way they responded to the band.
It's not shocking that the Villages has a fun party atmosphere, but there is a level of attachment that exists between entertainer and listener that is hard to come by in many other places, which can be described as profound.
There's a girl that comes to my show from Minnesota. They come down from St. Paul, Minnesota. The family comes back and forth, and they have a daughter. She's turning 30. And Dana, hi Dana, and she's a special needs girl. She brings me some of the props I have. Because people say, Scooter, where do you get this stuff? Where do you get this stuff? She got me these. And because people one night were saying, man, Scooter, you need some help. So Dana thought, you know, what better help? The Hamburger Helper guys. They help to make a great meal. So
while that attachment is amazing, it's also a double-edged sword. And entertainers in the Villages sometimes face a reality entertainers everywhere else don't have to on a regular basis.
There's a lot of really nice people out there. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that's kind of neat.
That is neat.
Really gets you sometimes, but you're gonna get me all emotional here. So yeah. And you know, and even some of the villagers, you know, they'll come out here and party, and then next thing you know, you're here, they're in a hospice or something. You go visit them, and you know that's kind of tough right before they go to say goodbye to them. So, yeah, but
That must be kind of special, though. I mean, there aren't too many places where you could have that kind of relationship with an audience.
very special, very nice, very special.
People will come down, snowbirds, and I'll say, hey, where's, oh, I'm sorry. You know, that's tough to take. That really is tough to take. I don't want to say it's part of the job, because it's not. That's not a job. That's being a human being. These are people that are friends, and you talk to them and you get to know them, and then all of a sudden they're not there.
The hardest part is if you lose somebody that you're close to. And that's happened to me a couple times, and I got a great big heart. And so when I think about it, it makes me sad. But I love them. And the best part is, it's something like this. Other places, you don't have the opportunity to expose yourself, and they give this opportunity to you. But it is the feeling of the people that keep coming back time and time again. It makes it all worthwhile.
The harder emotions are unexpected, but not unwelcome. Villagers' love of music, combined with their love of live entertainment, creates a fascination within the entertainment community, which seems to give a reason for performers to stick around and feel like rock stars.
They're going to come out, they're going to support the band, they're going to make you feel like you're playing at Madison Square Garden. You know, and I think that's really what it is. You know, new bands coming in, I think that's really what they don't expect at first until they get here. And then when they experience it, oh, you know, whoa, we must be really good. You know?
I'd say about half they have a day job, and then they come play here at night. And they love it just as much, but it's a different thing. It's more just, I want to say it's something to do, but it's just maybe something they've always wanted to do, and now they're actually out there and doing it, which is kind of resonates with our whole group of residents here. Is a lot of them are now getting to do all the things they never got to do before that they may have wanted to do.
This guy comes up to me and he goes, oh, I love your shows. I get some great ideas from you. And I go, wait a second, you're a DJ? He goes, yeah, I'm a DJ. I go, you mind me asking you how old you are? He goes, I'm 72. And I was like, I can do this forever. You know, so it was huge for me to, you know, meet people like that here. And it's just, man, the village is just open the can of Scooter, I guess.
They're going to have to drag us out of here. I'll tell you what, we got hundreds of shows left. And I can't wait. Every time I think about, you know, 20 years, I think, man, let's do it. Let's see how long we can do it.
If I'm looking for something to do, there's always the Square, and the Square will always be there.